It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
So, my friends, he is running for governor of the state of Pennsylvania, and he's traveling throughout the Commonwealth. In fact, he even went to school in Chicago to get some information on how to be a governor, I guess. And I thought we would bring Lou Barletta back on the Sam Lesante Show. He hasn't been on for a couple months. I told you we'd keep you informed. Congressman, how are you?
I'm good, Sam. Nice to be here again.
It's interesting that you're doing a lot of traveling.
Pennsylvania's a real big state, and you need to get to all four corners of Pennsylvania and everywhere in between. So we're doing a lot of traveling.
A lot of people cannot, come to your gatherings to hear what you have to say and ask you questions. So this show, I'd like to find out, when you're going different places, and what are people asking you? What will you be doing different? Because next year is going to be critical. I mean, all elections are critical. It seems like every time we have a major election, they're even more critical than the one before. Okay, so when you go to these gatherings and you've been all over the place, and the reception has been good. Okay, what are they asking you?
So people want to know what I'm going to do, why I'm running. That's the question that people ask most. Like, why did you decide to run for governor, and what are you going to do? And that's what people want to hear. They want to hear what made me make that decision to throw my hat in the ring. And I talk a lot about that, Sam, because it was, probably from when I do talk to people about it, it's their reaction is that was the same as they felt as well. The pandemic. After I ran for Senate, I was out of Congress and had time to spend with my family, my grandchildren, and was really enjoying that. And then the pandemic hit, and saw how Governor Wolf, I felt, mismanaged the pandemic. My wife and I had started our own small business, and we remember how hard it was to stay in business and to try to be successful. And the employees became part of our family, and you become close with your employees. And we watched how Governor Wolf decided and was picking and choosing winners and losers, what businesses could stay open, what businesses had to shut down. And I just found it, where did we ever get to a point where a governor that has so much power to actually make a decision that your business had to close, but this business can stay open? You can go to Walmart and buy anything in there, even a bicycle if you wanted to, but you couldn't go to the local bike shop where you've been doing business your whole life. It made no sense to me. His business could stay open, but other businesses had to close. And I thought, who knows better than the business owners themselves what they would have to do to keep people safe? Because you want people to come in. It should have been, and I didn't think I was right. And then if that wasn't enough, I watched how he stole 1 year of education away from our children. We don't know what the long-term effects will be of that. Many children have suffered depression and anxiety, and that again. Why did one man have that kind of power? And if that wasn't enough, he put COVID-positive senior citizens in our nursing homes when our senior citizens were the most vulnerable. We knew that. Now, that accounted for 50% of the deaths in Pennsylvania. That percentage here in Pennsylvania was higher than Cuomo in New York, Whitmer in Michigan, and Murphy in New Jersey. It was the worst. And our economy is just suffering. I mean, now that businesses can open, and no matter where you go, they can't find employees, because between Joe Biden in Washington and Governor Wolf, they're paying people to stay home, and these businesses now are struggling. I was on the road the other day, went to run into a McDonald's to get a soda. It was 6 o'clock. The dining room was closed because of no help. I mean, we can't continue this way. We can't. Pennsylvania's economy is suffering. I believe that the governor has too much power. So the things that I would do differently, naturally, would bring our freedom back to the people. First of all, our businesses will be open for business. We have such an opportunity here in Pennsylvania. We can be just like Florida. If you look at Florida's economy with Governor DeSantis, what he's been able to do there, people are flocking there. Businesses are moving there.
I want to go back and I want to talk about Florida, okay? Who do you think is advising Governor Wolf? I mean, do you think he's making these decisions by himself, or is he getting advice from CDC, or is he getting advice from, who is he surrounding himself with?
Unfortunately, I believe, Sam, the Democrat Party has really become, has moved so far left that Pennsylvania is not alone. It's almost like the blueprint they're following is the same in New York and Michigan and California, and all of those economies are dragging behind. Talking about shutting down. I was in Philadelphia the other day, and I actually had to carry my vaccination medical record with me. And I thought to myself, what country am I in that I have to carry and prove that I had a vaccine to be able to go into a business?
Well, the other side of what they're saying is that it's for the protection of people who do not have the vaccination.
I don't need the government. I don't think the government's smarter than you, Sam. I don't think the government's smarter than me. I don't think they're smarter than parents at home who are taking care of their children. Where did we all of a sudden think that they're so smart? This is what I feel. We were born in the greatest country on earth, freedom. That's why people come here, because America, you have freedom and rights. You can say what you want, even if I don't like what you say. You can say it because you have that freedom.
So far.
And that comes from God.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
We know where our freedoms come from. Mm-hmm. It is being taken away from us. These freedoms are being taken away from us. So this is what Sam, if I choose to get vaccinated, and you choose not to, for whatever reason, why should I be forced to wear a mask because you chose not to get vaccinated? I chose to. I wanted to protect myself. I wish you would get a vaccination. Mm-hmm. But then to tell me that I have to wear a mask even though I was vaccinated because you chose not to get vaccinated, why don't you wear the mask? And we shouldn't mandate you to, but if you didn't want to get vaccinated and you wanted to protect yourself, then you wear the mask. I don't think government should pick and choose, well, you must get vaccinated, but you still must wear a mask too. And oh, by the way, we're going to put masks on your kids, and they're going to sit in classrooms for 7 or 8, 9 hours under a mask, even though science doesn't tell us that they have to. Where is this going to end, where government has this kind of control of our life?
I don't think some people want it to end. I think this is only my personal opinion. I think they want to continue to have the people scared. They have senior citizens scared out of their minds. It's such a shame what they're doing to seniors, all right? Now, here again, I'm not going to downplay anything about COVID. But, you hear science on both sides. And that's the troubling thing. It's like, who do we believe? Is this all political? Is it not political? That's the thing that, people are concerned about.
These are the same people that send COVID-positive seniors back into the nursing homes.
Yeah.
These are the same people telling us what we need to do next.
Yeah.
I think parents know best what's for their children, and if a parent wants their child to be masked during school, I think that's their right. If a parent doesn't want their child to be masked during school, I think that's their right. I have faith in people. I want to bring freedom back to people, Sam. And I think our economy is going to flourish here because we have everything we need for a great economy.
Okay. Now, let's go back to DeSantis in Florida. I know a lot of people from Hazleton and from Pottsville and area who go to Florida. Some of them have condominiums, some live there, and they come back and forth. And they tell me there that it's just a different world compared to when they come up here and they see what's going on. Now, when you read in the last month or two about, the COVID, they sort of hammered Florida. And I guess that was a political thing because DeSantis was defying what, Biden and these guys wanted. So what happens is that the CDC comes out and says, wait a minute, those reports were wrong, okay, as to how many people were getting COVID. So here again, you don't know how much of this was political, and DeSantis is saying, no, this is what we're doing. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think the governor would have the numbers to make the decisions that he's making, at hand. And there were so many different contradictions that the CDC was coming out with throughout the thing. Even Dr. Fauci, one time no masks, one mask, two masks. Listen, I get it. I mean, we didn't know what we were dealing with, and obviously it was devastating to a lot of people. It took a lot of lives. It's nothing to fool around with. That's why, personally, I was vaccinated and carry my mask with me, and when I feel I'm in a situation, we'll put it on. But again, Sam, I think we need to give people the information. Make sure we're giving them good information. Make recommendations, but mandating, I think, goes a step too far.
When you're looking at the state of Pennsylvania, okay, we're beginning to see some things happening, and of course, there's always the blame game. Crime's going up, blame Trump. If there's energy things, blame Trump. It's blame, or it's always blaming. And sometimes reversed. So we have an energy situation in the state of Pennsylvania. We're beginning to see how it's creeping up, and how the gas prices are going up, and how, particularly going to a supermarket, and you'll see a difference of when they were selling steak for $12.99 a pound, it's now $15.99 a pound. And so slowly but surely, you're seeing all these prices coming up, and sometimes you say, well, who the hell wants a stimulus? I'd rather not get the stimulus. I'd rather not be paying all the money that I'm paying now, because they're going to get clobbered.
Right.
Once again, the poor senior citizens or a fixed income get clobbered. Yet they were lied to when it comes to election. And this is what I don't want to see happen next year, Lou, when it comes to the governorship.
So we only saw the beginning of inflation, of what's happening. I was down at the port 2 days ago, and talking to some of the folks there. They showed me the containers that are stacked up with products that aren't going to get to the store because they don't have anybody to deliver them. There's not enough workers. And this is all because they're still paying people to stay home. But think about the stimulus, Sam. That money doesn't come out of the sky. That's tax dollars. Who's paying for that?
Yeah.
Where does that money actually come? There's work. There's work now. We've got to get people back to work, or else the inflation will far outweigh the stimulus money. I mean, gas was $1.60 something. Now it's like $3.60 something. We're now depending on other countries for our gas, when we were energy independent at one time, and Pennsylvania was at the head of that, and now they just can't find workers to come to work.
Folks, I'm talking with Lou Barletta, former Congressman Lou Barletta, running for governor in the state of Pennsylvania. We sometimes like to know about the candidates. Invitations will be sent to other people who are running for governor. I want to get back here and talk about an article that Barletta wrote, Town Hall, which I found very interesting, particularly the fact that you know where I stand on different things. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. 24/7 SSPTV.com, our YouTube channel. And remember, in the Pottsville area, Comcast 190, we're on every day from 7 to 11 p.m. Been there for over 22 years, servicing the greater Pottsville area. There's roughly about 50-some thousand HD connections there, and we're very happy to be there. And also in the Wilkes-Barre, Mountaintop, Kingston area, we've been on for a number of years on Channel 92, from 7 to 11 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday evening. For those of you who want to know, we are producing over 21 local neighborhood programs. I want to thank those people who come up to me and thank us particularly for some of the shows. I appreciate that very much. My guest today is Lou Barletta, former Congressman. Lou Barletta was the city councilman, was a mayor, ran for Congress, was a congressman, and ran for U.S. Senate, and now he is running for a governorship for next year. Before I get to your article that was in the town hall, which I found very shocking, we heard many years ago Governor Rendell, and I don't care whether Democrat, Republican, it just happened to be a Democrat, when we got to casinos. The big sale was there that we're going to eliminate school taxes, property taxes, the casinos are going to pay for this, pay for that. But it seems every year now we are still paying real estate taxes and school taxes, particularly seniors who do not have, children, and they, here again, our poor seniors get wrapped. What do you think is going to happen in those areas?
Well, one of the things, Sam, that I'd like to do is work with the legislature to see what we can do to lower these taxes, property, school taxes, as you said, property taxes, literally killing people. We're watching them go up all the time, and that means people are making decisions whether they can buy their medicines or heat their home. Many people they won't turn their heat up in the wintertime because they can't afford the taxes, and so we need to find a way to lower it. Pennsylvania, if we want to, again, really get our economy going, Pennsylvania has one of the highest taxes in the country. So I'd love to work with the legislature and see how we must bring lower taxes here in Pennsylvania. If we want people to move here, stay here, and open up businesses here, we've got to be business friendly, and that means we've got to be tax friendly to people.
Well, you're going back in your history, okay, when you're a councilman in Hazleton and when you're a mayor, okay, and congressman, your history tells the story, okay? It's always good, to find out who the person is. That's the problem. People don't want to go back and see who they are, okay? But yet, if you need a doctor, you study and make sure you get the right qualified person, or a lawyer, you want the best lawyer, and you don't care whether they're black, they're pink, they're orange, they're Democrat, Republican, you just want the best person. Right. But when it comes to politics, he's a nice guy. He tells a lot of jokes. Hey, he's a great personality. He probably knows crap about running the position he's going or she's going into, and this is what we get left with, okay? And then people get mad at me because they're saying you're always picking on, I'm not picking, I'm just saying, no, listen, you're paying the price for what you did, okay? You're paying the price. You wrote an article in the town hall, which I think was very disturbing, okay? And the article says, shocking allegations of live baby organ harvesting deserve explanation. This article here was just shocking to me. Tell our viewers what it is.
Sure, it was something that actually was made public by Judicial Watch and another organization where the University of Pittsburgh, who for over 10 years have become a tissue hub taking tissues from aborted babies for research. And what was explained is that University of Pitt has said in their application that they are taking the kidneys of aborted babies before what is called ischemia time, which means that there's still blood flow to the organ. So if there's still blood flow to the organ, does that mean the baby has a heartbeat? Is this a live baby? Is this a baby that was born with a heartbeat? And if so, I think Pitt needs to explain that. If so, Sam, then does that baby now have a constitutional right to live? Even though the mother had chosen to have an abortion, if these babies are born alive with a heartbeat and they're taking the kidneys and organs, is it not murder if they're then taking those body parts from those babies? Does that baby not have a constitutional right at that point? And I think this needs to be an investigation and an explanation for it, because it certainly sounds to me, not only myself, other experts who said that these babies are born alive.
Lou, everyone knows where I stand on abortion. I'm pro-life 100%. Folks, I showed you this when we did a show with Marianne Lawhon. These are, people don't want to see this, 8-week-old baby before and after, before what they look like, and after the abortion. And Lou, it's what surprises me, and I guess I'm I got to be an old-fashioned guy. I don't know. They shut the world down for COVID. They shut everything down. In the state of, except Planned Parenthood, they were allowed abortions. But yet no one cares about the millions of unborn babies, live unborn babies, okay? I mean, beating hearts. No one cares about those millions of people, you know. And so I think, being a God-fearing person, we are paying the price for that. Take a look at the world. Take a look at what's going on. To me, you're killing God's creation. And now when you tell me about things like this, and you know, this is, how do medical people do this?
I don't know, Sam. I mean, I personally believe that, you know, baby's alive. It's a baby at conception from the very first heartbeat. But this is really disturbing and disgusting to think that they are performing this on babies that still have a heartbeat. If that baby is born, somebody needs to explain to me how it's not murder. If they're then taking the organs while the baby still has a heartbeat.
Well, you're saying here, an unsettling also was the racial overtones of Pitt's plans, which included a desire for 50% of the body parts to be from minority babies, and an apparent nod towards the city of Pittsburgh's radical diversity. In actuality, Pittsburgh is nearly 70% white. What do you mean by that?
So what they were doing is they wanted 50% of these aborted baby parts to come from minorities to sort of reflect what they believe is the diversity of the city of Pittsburgh.
So you become governor of Pennsylvania. Where is your stand, okay, on abortion?
Well, I'm 100% pro-life. Just look at my voting record in Congress. I was 100%. I haven't missed one vote that wasn't on the side of life, and that's the kind of governor I'm going to be. I'm going to be a pro-life, pro-God, pro-Second Amendment governor. It's pretty clear. I have a record that that's very open for people to see, so there will be no surprises and what kind of governor I'm going to be.
We have about a minute and a half left, and appreciate you coming on because I like to have the people informed. What kind of reception have you been getting in the state of Pennsylvania when you're going around these places?
It's been incredible, Sam. When I talk to people and I say, listen, this is what we're going to do when I become governor. Number one, we're going to open up the economy. We're going to get, when businesses leave Pennsylvania, so do our children and grandchildren leave with them. We're going to open up our economy here, bring better jobs, better paying jobs. We're going to bring integrity to our elections again. We're going to make sure people feel that the elections are free and fair. We're going to take care of our law enforcement. We're going to show respect to our men and women who protect us in law enforcement. We are also going to take care of our veterans. And any soldier, Sam, that slept on a desert in Afghanistan should never be sleeping under a bridge in Pennsylvania. And we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. And we're going to use education as really the linchpin to bring people out of poverty. No child should be stuck in a failing school, and when I'm governor, we will never ever teach critical race theory to our children. We're not going to teach our children to hate each other. We're going to let them learn the history of this country and love our country. And Sam, I say this all the time, we should kneel when we pray, and we should stand for the American flag.
Well, I wish you and all the people who are running for office important. I tell you, my friends, please check the people out who are running for office. Know who they are, forget whether they're Democrat, Republican, and don't let the parties tell you what to do. Seniors, you've been getting hammered all the time. They lie to you, they try to twist things around, and it's sad. Don't let them do that to you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.